Hello everybody, and in this video we'll be talking about the Euler Totient function. And as you can see, it's the Euler Totient function, and it's denoted by phi n. The phi, it's a Greek letter, so it's phi n. So what is the Euler Totient function? It's a function that is simply used to calculate the order of a group. So in abstract algebra we have things that are called groups, and in order to calculate the number of elements that are in a particular group, we use the Euler Totient function. So by definition, or the simplest definition that we can easily implement in a computer algorithm, is that a Euler Totient function phi n is the number of integers between 1 and n whose GCD with n is 1. So we'll be counting the numbers from 1 up to n, which is the number we are trying to find the GCD of, which is the number of the modulo in that particular group, and then we'll be trying to find the GCD with each number from 1 up to n, and try to see those that have the GCD of 1, and we'll be counting, and in total we'll be having the number of elements that are in a particular group. So let's say n is 6 in this example, and then we'll be having the GCD starting from 1. As we say, it's integers between 1 and n. So n in this case is 6, and we're starting with 1. GCD of 6 and 1 is 1. GCD of 6 and 2 is 2. GCD of 6 and 3 is 3. GCD of 6 and 4 is 2. 6 and 5 is 1. 6 and 6 is 6. So if we count the number of results that have a value of 1, is the first one, which is the GCD of 6 and 1, and the GCD of 6 and 5. So the Euler function of 6 is going to give us the result of 2. So it's just as simple as that. Now let's jump into the code and see what we can do. So the first thing is that it's a C++ program to find the Euler Totient function, by the definition you've just seen, including the standard input and output stream using standard namespace. And then we are starting by creating the GCD function that we've been using in most of our programs that involve abstract algebra. And if you haven't seen a video about this, I advise you to check it out. It's there. I explained it. It's actually using the Euclidean algorithm, and it's not very difficult. So in this video I'm not going to explain about it, but the first thing is that I have two variables here. The first one is counter, which is going to store the number of results that have the value of 1, which in the end is going to be our value of phi n. And then we have the value, which of course this value is the number that the user is going to input. So the first thing is that the program is going to say program to calculate phi n. That's just something to make the program look nice. It's not necessary. And then it tells the user to enter the value of n, and then it takes the value of n as value from this cin statement, and then it's going to start a loop from I equals 1 and I is less or equal to value. And then it's going to find the GCD, calling this GCD function, and then it's going to compare if the particular value of I at that point and the value which is entered by the user is 1, then it's going to increment the counter by 1. And after the whole loop has completed and exited, we'll be having the value of counter, which is the value of phi n, and we'll output that cout the phi n of the value is equal to counter, which is the result of the Euler Totient function phi n of the value we've entered. So let's try and run the program and see what's going to be the result. And we're going to use the same number we've just seen in the explanation, and it's 6. So actually the console isn't displaying while the phi value, it's displaying like a stroke which is having equal signs, but it's not a problem. So program to calculate phi n, enter the value of n, which is 6, and it says value of phi n, phi 6 is 2. And that's all for today, and thank you for listening.